Hi guys, it's Justine here from IShouldReadThat.com, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit of a book haul that I have. I've received some really great stuff from publishers over the past couple of weeks, and I might have had a little trip to the bookshop earlier today. So I thought that I would show some books off to you guys, see what you guys think. If you've read any of these books, please let me know, and the cats are currently fighting next to me, so that should make for some interesting audio. So I thought I would start today by showing you some of the books that I've been sent by publishers. These are all proof copies. They have not yet been released, at least at the time of this video. So I want to start with some children's books, which I'm really excited about, from Sweet Cherry Publishing. They're an independent publisher that's based here in England, and I have 3 books from them. The first 2 are actually the first in a series. They're coming out in February of next year, and that's the Hopeless Heroes series. So these are super cute. The first is Here Comes Hercules, and the second is Hera's Terrible Trap. They're by Stella Terrickson, and they're illustrated by Nick Roberts. So I've actually started the first one already, and it's super cute. I'm really enjoying it. It's basically about a boy named Tim, who is tidying up, helping out his mum, and he breaks an ancient Greek vase, which is in their house. And it turns out that he releases Hercules, the mythical figure, the hero from ancient Greek mythology. And Hercules is so grateful that he wants to help Tim out, but naturally makes a mess of things. So the illustrations in this are really, really cute. I actually flagged my favorite one, which is Hercules trying to do some gardening work, which is just here. I really am enjoying this so far. It looks really sweet. So the second one is Hera's Terrible Trap. Hera is the one who trapped Hercules in the vase when Tim finds him. So I imagine that she's going to stir up some trouble for our heroes. Next is going to be The 13th Reality, The Journal of Curious Letters, and this is actually by James Dashner, who wrote the Maze Runner books, which are quite well known. They've been turned into movies. I've actually not read them, but this is his new series, and he's going to be publishing it with Sweet Cherry Publishing. I'm really looking forward to this. I don't really know much about it yet. I've not had a chance to tackle it yet because I have been focusing on the Hopeless Heroes series. But this one looks really good, quite sizable, which is excellent, and I'm really looking forward to reading these books. So thank you very much to Jess from Sweet Cherry Publishing for providing these. The next book in the stack is actually one that is being turned into a TV series. It's Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. So this is going to be an anthology of 10 of his short stories, as seen on Channel 4. I have a confession to make. As some of you may know, I'm a huge sci-fi fan, but I've actually never managed to read any of Philip K. Dick's books. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think that this is going to be a really great way of getting into his stuff. This comes out on the 14th of September, so keep an eye out for that, and also keep an eye out for the TV series, which I didn't actually know was starting. I'm really bad with TV. It's probably because I'm reading so much, but I'm looking forward to actually tuning into this. If you didn't know, Philip K. Dick is the one who wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which was the inspiration for the movie Blade Runner. Very exciting. And he also wrote Minority Report, which was another film that starred Tom Cruise that I remember being quite good. It's been a while since I've seen it. So this is from Gallant, so thank you very much for sending me this book. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. So the next book on the list is from Ebury Publishing. I'm really excited about this one. I apparently did a little happy dance when it showed up on my doorstep, and that is The Girl in the Tower. So The Girl in the Tower is the sequel to The Bear and the Nightingale, which was actually one of my favorite books that I read this year. I took a chance, I bought it in hardcover, and I really loved it, and I've since been passing it around to everyone. So it is essentially, think Russian fairy tale, full-length novel. However, it's very kind of dark, and it is also about sort of the encroachment of religion and Catholicism on sort of the folklore of Russia. So it takes place in sort of very northernmost Russia. Initially, I was a little bit nervous about the fact that there was a sequel to The Bear and the Nightingale because I was so excited. I loved it so much. I thought it had a perfect ending, which I fangirl about a little bit with some of my friends. And I wasn't thrilled when I heard that there was going to be a sequel, but I've since come around, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a trilogy, so this is the second book. It comes out in January, so thank you so much to the people at eBury who sent this to me. So the last book that I'm doing is actually cheating a little bit. I don't have it in my hands yet, but it is apparently on its way to me. I might be cursing myself a little bit by doing this early, but I have a copy of Artemis by Andy Weir coming to me, and I am so excited about this book. You may have seen my Beginner's Guide to Science Fiction, parts 1 and 2, on my blog, and in the first part I talk about how The Martian was one of the books that initially got me into science fiction. I was solely a fantasy reader for so long, and I decided to take a chance on that book. Everyone on Reddit really loved it, and it was on sale for Kindle. So I bought it, I read it, I loved it. I thought that the humor is so perfectly balanced, the science is really easy to understand. Whether or not it's accurate, who knows? I was an English major, not a science major. I don't have the kind of brain for that. But what matters is that it really was easy for someone like me who does not have a scientific brain at all to understand, and it was so entertaining, and I loved it so much. So this Artemis is going to be his new book. It comes out in November of this year, and it has a female lead character, which is very exciting. And I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on that book. So I've been running home every day to see if I've got a package on my doorstep, so fingers crossed that it shows up soon. So that's it for the books that I've received from publishers over the past couple of weeks. So now I wanted to get into a couple of the books that I bought today, actually. I was having kind of a meh day, not necessarily a bad day, nothing bad happened, just kind of meh, uninspired, not great. So I decided to treat myself with a trip to the bookshop. If you've seen my blog earlier today, I participated in Top 10 Tuesday, and I opted to do 10 books from my childhood that I really loved, one of which was a Roald Dahl book. And I was chatting with my sister about my choices and talking a little bit, and it came to light that I've never read Matilda. I know, especially for a girl, and a girl who loved reading so much as a child, and for someone who decided to become a book blogger later on in life. That's pretty bad. It's shocking that I didn't actually read this. So after a lot of scolding from my big sister, thank you Julia, I decided to get a copy of Matilda. I'm really excited to read this. I think it's probably the only one of Roald Dahl's children's books that I didn't read as a kid. I absolutely loved him so much. I think that Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I actually have on the shelf behind me, and Danny the Champion of the World were probably two of my favorite books as a kid. I love him. The fact that apparently he didn't like children makes me like him even more. That man suffered for his art if he hated kids. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I think that I will probably connect with Matilda a lot. I have seen the movie. It was ages ago. I don't know if it's any good, but if it is, let me know. I'm gonna probably end up watching it soon. I loved the movie of the witches. It's just so scary when I was little. I don't know if it's actually scary or not, but I loved that book and I loved that movie. So I'm looking forward to reading a little bit more of his stuff. It's amazing at this point to find such a prolific author whose books you've read so many of. It's amazing to find a book of his that I've actually not read, so this is very exciting. So next on the list, these last two books are actually part of the buy one get one half price deal that Waterstones has going on. So I decided to pick up this one, which I've heard a little bit about on Twitter. It's got an amazing cover, but I don't know much about it. And that is An Almond for a Parrot, and it's by Ray Delaney. So this looks really, really good. This looks like exactly the kind of book that I like when I'm into adult fiction. And it's about a woman who was awaiting her execution in Newgate Prison in 1756. And it's her kind of looking back on the events that have led her to this particular position. And it looks like she's going to have to tell this story in order to save her own life. This looks great. Have you seen this cover? It's gorgeous. It's like almost like embroidered, and the actual cover is textured. This looks really gorgeous, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I have kind of a hankering to read some adult fiction because I'm a little bit burnt out on YA and on fantasy right now. I've read so much of it over the past few months. So I think that this might be the ticket to get me back into reading a little bit. Last but certainly not least is a book that I've actually been really looking forward to for a while. Again, it's one that I don't know a huge amount about. However, I've been hearing such good things from people who I know in real life and who I trust with books, fellow publishers and the like, and that is Ali Smith's Autumn. I'm really looking forward to this. It just came out in paperback. I didn't want to take the risk and pick it up in hardback just in case it wasn't something that I liked, but it was longlisted for the Man Booker Prize, and I'm looking forward to reading some more of the Man Booker Prize nominees, especially with the short list. I think it's being announced tomorrow. I read The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead earlier this year, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm looking forward to reading more of these books, and this is one that was really on the top of my list. I think that it's going to be particularly relevant. I do live in the UK, and it's apparently a good post-Brexit book. It'll probably make me really sad, but a lot of good literature does that to me. So that's it for my book haul post. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm planning on doing some more stuff like this in the future, particularly as I get stuff in the post and as I have the uncontrollable urge to go and buy more books that I clearly don't need. So I'm going to go ahead and link some of the posts that I mentioned earlier down at the bottom, and I'll also link to my social media. Give me a shout if you've read any of these books, if you're looking forward to reading any of these books, if you haven't heard of some of these books and think that they might be interesting, and I'll see you later.